Hello everyone and welcome back. And today I'm going to talk to you about if you're a seller and you receive multiple offers, what are some good guidelines to help you make the best decision? And so a few weeks ago I talked to you about if you're a buyer in a multiple offer situation, what's the best thing to do to get your offer accepted over everybody else's offer. Today I want to think about, if you're the seller, what are the things that are important to keep in mind? So, number one, of course, is price. But a close second behind that, and really most importantly to see about what is, you really want it to close, what's the likelihood of it closing. So the type of financing then comes into play. And you would just look at, in Augusta we have very many VA buyers, and that might be one of the best options that you get. A few weeks ago we had 3 offers and all of them were VA loans. But all VA loans and all VA lenders are not the same. So if you were faced with that situation, the best thing to do is to say, is this a local lender? Is this someone who's going to be able to close on the loan? Do they have a track record? And are you going to be able to, is your agent going to be able to get through to the lender? Sometimes if it's a national lender, and I mean they really don't care if your moving van is packed up, and if it's 5 o'clock, they're going to leave. So that would be one of the big considerations. Then of course, if it's a conventional loan, the more money that they put down, the stronger the offer. And of course, as we say, cash is king. So you may decide to take a cash offer that may even be lower than the other offers, but it could, of course, in that case, it would be the most likely to close. So the second thing is, I want you to look at all of the factors. When do they want to close? Is that possession date helpful to you? In the negotiation, could you work it to your advantage to have the possession date be even perhaps after the closing? That way you'd know you had your funds and then you'd be ready to go. That's lots of times that's just not practical or possible. But if you're in the driver's seat and you have multiple offers, that's the time to consider that type of thing. Thirdly, you want to think about, of course, any kind of contingencies that are in there. You want the cleanest contract that you can get, and that's why a lot of times I'll recommend that people even get their home inspected ahead of time, because most people are going to have an inspection contingency. But if you've had an inspection, you know all the little foibles of the house and you've had an opportunity to address those, then that's another way to put you in the driver's seat, because you can say you want to have a shorter due diligence. So the due diligence in our area is usually about 10 days to 14 days, depending on the availability of the inspectors. But of course, the shorter the due diligence, the better for everyone, really, because then you're able to move on quickly to the closing. So those are just a few of the things. Another thing that I might also ask you to keep in mind is the earnest money, the amount of the earnest money. Some agents feel like that's just not really important, but when the rubber meets the road, the more money that a buyer has up for their earnest money, the more likely they are to close. So that's just 4 little topics. There's plenty there to think about for today, and any other questions that you've got that are specifics, feel free to call me, and I look forward to seeing you then.